What is sickle cell disease? Sickle cell disease is a disease which causes red blood cells to become a sickle shape. This can lead to problems in the bloodstream because due to their non-flexible cells, it can lead to clotting in the system.
Hemoglobin is a protein in the red blood cells that carries oxygen throughout the body, and people with sickle cell disease have abnormal hemoglobin called hemoglobin S.
A red blood cell is round and flexible. However, a sickle cell is not round, obviously, and is not flexible either. Because of this, the red blood cell lasts longer than a sickle cell.
Symptoms of having sickle cells in your system can be having a shortness of breath, dizziness, headaches, coldness in hands and feet, and it can make you feel tired or weak.
How is sickle cell disease inherited? Sickle cell disease is inherited by a recessive gene. This is called an autosomal recessive disease. Most of the people who have sickle cell disease are from African descent. It affects about 1 in 500 African American births. And about 1 in 36,000 Hispanic births in the US.
These Punnett squares of how this genetic disease is inherited show the likelihood that a child will be affected by this genetic disease. The capital A means a trait without the disease, and the lowercase a means a trait with the inherited disease. The two letters on top represent one parent, and the two letters on the side represent the other. Sickle cell disease is, as we've said before, recessive. But what does that mean? Recessive means that it will only affect a person if they have two of the same gene for that disease. If the person only has one gene for that disease, it won't affect them. The green shaded squares represent the chances out of 4 that a child will be born with the disease. So for example, if one square is shaded green, that means there's a 25% chance that the child will have the disease.
Meiosis is the process in which sex cells are made, so sperm and eggs, more specifically how DNA is split between them. In short, it is when a cell called spermatogonia in males and oogania in females splits twice to create 4 separate sperm or egg cells, each with 23 chromosomes, half of the human genome. In female, however, 3 of the 4 eggs feed the other eggs to make it grow. How this process works is, say, a man is making a sperm cells. A cell in his body called spermatogonia first replicates the DNA inside it to form a double chromosome. Then the double chromosome align with the homologous pair, so one from his mom and one from his dad, and they switch sections of the DNA. Then the double chromosomes are separated in half, eventually creating 2 separate cells, each with 23 double chromosomes.
After that, each of the double chromosomes in each of the cells splits in half, eventually creating 4 cells, each with 23 chromosomes.
Meiosis relates to the mode of inheritance because it is how the parents' genes are randomized into each sex cell. Also, in men, this happens hundreds of billions of times throughout their life, which means that there are several different combinations of genes and traits, and the one that reaches the egg first is the one that fertilizes it, which also means that the traits in it are the ones that will be passed on to the child.
It is important for high schoolers to know about this disease because it brings awareness to teenagers to check their genome. This can help them tremendously whenever they decide if they want to have a baby. This can let them know if they are capable of having an effective child with this disease, for them to be able to consider if having a child could still be an option for them.
One way that sickle cell disease can be controlled is by taking hydroxyurea, but you should see your doctor before taking it. It is also important to know about the disease because it explains how recessive diseases such as sickle cell disease happen in our body and to know its dangers when having children. However, in the end, it is a parent's decision if they should have children.
Thanks for watching.